So last week, I created the perfect player in Football Manager. We gave them 20 in everything, and they set the world ablaze. But it got me thinking, what if you made the worst possible player? What if you gave a player 1 in everything, gave them some useless traits, and then forced them to play up front for Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp? Could 10 world-class players carry them? Let's go find out, shall we? So a little bit about this video before we get into it. This player could not normally physically exist. A player with 1 current ability, the lowest overall ability in Football Manager, wouldn't have 1 in everything. This man does. I've given him a load of useless traits. His personality of honest reflects the fact that he's not going to get sent off. I want him playing as many games as possible, so he's not a dirty player. The way that we've set this up is Jurgen Klopp is assistant manager at Liverpool. I am manager. I am going to make Jurgen play the worst player in every single game, but Jurgen has free tactical control. He can do whatever he wants with the other 10 players. We're going to holiday forward, see how they get on. Will they get relegated? I genuinely, I don't know what's going to happen here. They're going to be awful. Can they get a goal? That's all I really want. Before we get into this video, just a quick reminder. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. About 50% of the people who watch these videos, like these experiments, they don't go on to subscribe. They don't see part 2. They don't see the next thing. They're relying on the YouTube algorithm. Drop a like on this video, of course, if you do enjoy it. Let's get in game and just see how bad this player is, shall we? So here we are in FM21, and welcome to our new best friend, who has, if I might say so myself, the most bizarre attribute polygon I've ever seen. What is this? It's just a circle, everyone. It's just a circle. Apparently they've got 8 pros and 7 cons. I mean, you're going to ask me to check what they are. What are the pros? What do I say? I mean, apparently a pro is that they're a technical player. They have 1 technique. Inconsistent, operating at championship level. Have I got the worst assistant in charge as well? I mean, Klopp, what are you telling me here, bud? So yeah, it's pretty clear that this guy isn't very good. I did actually just replace a player within Liverpool's academy for the sake of this, rather than creating a whole new player. If we just look at everything, there is just 1s in absolutely everything. I gave them good sportsmanship and temperament because, as I said, I don't want him getting sent off. I want this person playing as many games as possible. They've got, obviously, the lowest injury proneness, so hopefully we won't see too many injuries. And because they're the only person selected in the lineup when I go on holiday, they will just play every game. I don't know what's going to happen here. I genuinely don't. The person's attributes are frozen, so they're not going to get any better. They're only 16 years old. I think we're going to holiday forward into the foreseeable future, and potentially, if this video does well, if it hits, let's say 1,000 likes, for part 2, I will become England manager and play this person at a World Cup, and we will watch them in the match engine through some matches and see if we can win a World Cup with England with them in the team. If you like the idea of that, you know what to do right now. And well, shall we go forward a little bit? I think to start things, we should just go forward 6 months. I need to make sure this is actually working as intended. They are actually playing every game and see if they're actually contributing at all. Let's go find out. I am very excited to see exactly what's going to happen here. So it's January. The transfer window is open. We're in 5th. I think it's safe to say that Liverpool might be underperforming, and unsurprisingly, the worst player is not the top goal scorer in the league. He's not got one of the highest average ratings, but the good news for us is I have cheated. I've made it so I can't be sacked. So I'm not going to be fired if I miss out on the Champions League for the sake of playing this one man who currently is supporting Shaqiri. I wonder what's going on with Shaqiri. Let's have a look at the worst player, shall we? Apparently he still has 7 pros. He's still technical and he's good at taking set pieces. Oh no. The statistical thing here, he wins headers. He wins some headers. But he's performing below average in every key statistic for the attacking role. Have you scored a goal? He has. He's scored 1 goal in the Champions League. His average rating in the Premier League is 6.19. Oh dear. He's actually not scored yet in the league. But from the looks of it, he's played every game, so it's working as intended. Excellent. I'll tell you what, if I can find the goal, if it actually loads up, I'm going to show it on screen now. You can rate it out of 10 in the comments. Was it a good goal? It was against Celtic to win 2-1, so it was a match-winning goal. Come on, the worst player. Came back from behind Liverpool in that game as well. Superb stuff. Excellent. Okay, well, Liverpool are currently in 5th. They're not going too well in the league, but they have made it to the Champions League knockouts. They did lose to Villa in the Carabao Cup. We'll just ignore that. Let's go to the end of the season. Can he improve his average rating? Let's go find out what is happening. Who thought this was a good idea? So we are now at the end of Season 1, and this is the first thing that I saw when I came back from holiday. Liverpool season pleases Klopp. I will be the judge on if this was a pleasing season, Jurgen, but from the fact it says 5th at the top here, not very optimistic, and looking through things. I mean, the Community Shield was won. Nobody cares about that. No Champions League football. Didn't win the FA Cup. Didn't do well in the Carabao Cup. Where's the worst player? Where are you, mate? Let's take a look. You've got 2 goals now. You've got 1 goal and 2 assists in the league. An XG of 3 is a bit weird because that implies that he's not even getting the chances to score. I mean, the average rating kind of speaks for itself. A 6.23, but 2 assists, 1 goal. Who was the goal against? Can I actually see that? I found it, everyone. It was against Leeds United. So, well done to the worst player. Got a 6.8 rating despite scoring. I mean, that's kind of quite telling, isn't it? Compared to the rest of the players, if we just look at the statistical squad view here, did you do well in anything? You won 6 headers, a 7% header win percentage, 9 tackles all season. Average distance covered per 90 minutes was the worst outside of everyone except the goalkeepers. So not even trying to do any running, sadly. 1 cross completed all year. They only tried 4 all year. So to get 1, that was 25%, which isn't too bad. 411 passes is significantly lower than everyone else in the entire team, especially considering they had 50 games played. It's like the Liverpool players have recognised they're not very good, so they're just not giving them the ball. 34 shots in all competitions as well, less than a shot a game, and when they were taking the shots, 26% of them were on target. Only Joel Matip and Oxlade-Chamberlain had worse shots on target percentages. You can see here an XG of 3.95 is not very good compared to everyone else, and to be fair, they just didn't really score many goals across the board, Liverpool. They committed 18 fouls, had 9 fouls committed on them. I mean, unsurprisingly, they've contributed absolutely nothing to society or Liverpool Football Club in a year. I think we'll go forward another year. Can it get better? A 17, growing lad. I mean, technically growing, not really, because their attributes aren't going to change. But maybe it's just a bit of gelling. Maybe it's a case of getting used to things. Liverpool, taking a step down. Maybe the worst player is a Europa League quality player. Let's go and have a peek, shall we? So it's 2022, and this summer, the Club World Cup's going on, which the worst player will get to partake in. Very exciting times. Unfortunately, this league graph that even after just 1 season looks a little bit saddening is going to look a little bit sadder next time we're here. Liverpool finished 7th, but they've qualified for the Champions League. Did they win the Europa League? That is the only way they could have done this. Wow. Okay, they won the Europa League final after extra time. I assume the worst player played. Did they play? Of course they blooming did. They got a 6.3 rating. They may well have been subbed off. Unfortunately, I can't prevent Klopp using his common sense. The worst player. How have you done this year? You've ended on a high. What went on before this? Well, 3 goals in the league this year. It's an improvement, everyone. Outperforming the XG as well. An average rating of 6.27 is technically an improvement. Technically. Let's have a look at the fixtures here. Can we find the games where they managed to score? It's like looking for a needle in a haystack. So they got a goal against Brighton in a 5-3 win. Love that. Lovely, lovely stuff. They didn't score any other goals in any other competitions. And also, oh my word, in the month of December, they scored 4 goals in 9 matches. It's not great, is it? It's not great. I'm probably missing the other goals now. Ultimately, what we're learning here is the worst player is having an effect. They are sandbagging the team, which probably shouldn't be too surprising. If we just insert a column here of formation, we can see the formation that is being played by Jurgen Klopp. So apparently he's playing a 4-3-3 with a DM and wide or a 4-2-3-1. So regardless of how they play, the worst player is just playing up front for them. interesting. I mean, how many games did they play this year? They played 60 games, so played even more matches. I was a bit concerned that they were going to have a load of injuries because they've got 1 natural fitness and 1 stamina. They're going to be quite likely to get injuries when they're forced to play every single match, but apparently it's not been a factor. As you'll notice as well, I have extended his contract. I gave him 4 more years of the worst player because that's what Liverpool fans were calling for. If we look at their biography, worst player has been struggling to make an impact at Liverpool, and the striker is said to be anxious as to whether or not he has a future at the club. Well, I'm going to tell you now, mate, don't you fret. Do not panic. You're here for the long haul. If we look at the coach report, apparently they've asked to leave. Going to be ignoring that. I'm really confused as to why the game thinks they're good at taking set pieces and a technical player. It is a little bit puzzling. What I will say is, the polygon looks different this year. They've got a better conversion percentage, but their shots on target isn't as good. Which means that they're not hitting the target very much, but they're having so few shots that the ones that they do have on target are going in. Which I suppose we should take as a silver lining. 90% pass completion, again, is really interesting. Obviously not completing a load of passes. But it does make you wonder, what kind of passes are they doing? If they're only giving away 10% of them. Like, they're misplacing less than a pass a match. Now, obviously, they're not touching the ball that much. Makes you wonder how much passing matters for a player who's not like a playmaker. I am curious as well. Have they made any transfer dealings? They have. They've made moves, everyone. They've brought in Nuno Mendes. They've not brought in any strikers that I recognise, which I suppose is a silver lining because they just wouldn't be allowed to play. Salah's still enjoying things here. So's Mane, so's Firmino. Firmino's played 35 games this year. Bobby, where are you playing? Where is it? Where are you being stuck? He's been stuck at centre attacking mid, and then I guess these appearances as a striker he's coming on off the bench for. I mean, I feel a bit sad for him. I know there's going to be someone who's written a comment saying that Bobby Firmino is already the worst player, so why did you need to add this guy in? If you've written that comment, it's an unoriginal joke. Go down in the comments, delete it out of shame. And let's go forward to 2023, shall we? Back in the Champions League, back in the big time, steadily improving. Could we have 5 goals next season? I love the fact that over the first 3 years, the worst players' pros has just not changed. I guess they're just the same pros. Again, it's the same 7, everyone. You can see here, still a championship level player. It's just not true, is it? Looking at the polygon, bit different again this year. I think it might be worse. I mean, below average in everything does not bode well. I didn't actually look at the statistics here. 2 goals in the league. No goals in anything else. What was the average rating for the season? 6.22, the worst of all the seasons so far. How did Liverpool do? Well, I'll tell you what, they've improved, everyone. They have finished 6th. How comfortably did they finish 6th? Not that comfortably at all. Looks like Liverpool won on the last day of the season. When did the worst player score? Did he win any games for the club single-handedly? I cannot believe it, everyone. Watch this. Liverpool v United at Old Trafford. Finish 1-0. The worst player scores in off the post. After 3 years of being hated on by the fans, he goes and does that. He proves his worth on the biggest stage. That was one of his 2 goals this year. It came in a 1-0 win away from home at Old Trafford. I mean, if there's a time to score, that's not a bad one. The other goal that they scored, I did find it here. It was against Leeds United. So apparently the worst player hates Leeds. How did Liverpool do in all competitions? Finished runners-up in the Super Cup, got knocked out by Barcelona in the Champions League, no success in the Emirates FA Cup or the Carabao Cup either, sadly. I mean, presumably they still played every match. 53 games played in all competitions. Their value, if you were wondering, if you wanted to buy your very own worst possible player, £4,600. I feel like that is within reach of some of us out there, so yeah, maybe you could sign the worst possible player. I love the fact that our coaches are still like, he could have potential. 1.5 star maybe. No, he doesn't. No, does he? And I know that. And he knows that. And he might think he's deserving of a new contract, but he just doesn't, does he? Anyway, you can see the statistics here. If there's anything that I haven't spotted in this video, because you've got to appreciate there's lots going on and I might miss some bits, please do let me know. Of course, we've given him 3 seasons now at club level, and it'd be fair to say it's not exactly gone to plan. But at 19 years old, plenty of years ahead of them. As I said at the top, if you would like to see me do a video where we go to the 2026 World Cup, I make myself England manager and we play this chap up front for a part 2. Drop a like on the video, let me know in the comments. I think it could be pretty fun to watch him in the match engine, try and build, I want to say build a tactic around him. That makes it sound like I want to facilitate him into a tactic. When I say build a tactic around the worst player, I literally mean build it around him where we avoid having to actually have him touch the ball because, to be frank, he's just a bit crap, isn't he? Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap up this part 1 of this worst player in Football Manager experiment from me. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, make sure to drop a like on it. Super appreciated. If you've got your own idea for a wacky or wonderful experiment like this one, leave it down in the comments. And until next time, from me, Jack, and the worst player in FM21, I'll see you guys next time. I'm out.